Hey guys, I'm going to start with the tinting assignment tutorial. I have my photo open in Photoshop. I already turned it to black and white. You can turn yours to black and white by going to Image Adjustments, Desaturate. You can also go to the bottom of your layers panel to the adjustment layer icon, the half moon, clicking on that and going to black and white to change yours from color to black and white. I'm going to make a copy of this background and I'm just going to say duplicate layer, background copy, hit OK. All right. So in this lesson, I'm adding 3 colors. I'm going to add a layer for every color. I'm working in this blend mode, which is this tab right here, which says normal right above your layers panel, right? I have normal, opacity, kind. If I open that, you see I have lots of options. And as I scroll over it, it changes my image. We're going to be working with that on each layer as we go. So I'm going to add a layer. And I'm going to name this green. I'm going to go get some green by clicking my fill. Over here in the tools panel, I have the 2 foreground and background. And I'm going to choose green and hit OK. I'm going to grab a brush and let me zoom in a little bit. And I go to the tools panel and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down on the left side and grab my brush tool. I can right click on the image and change the size of that brush. You'll see it changes as I move it along. I can make it super big. I'm gonna go about there right now, and I'm just going to paint on these brushes down here. I'm not going to go too elaborate for this tutorial. You can if you want. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing here. I painted it on there. I'm going to make my brush a little bit smaller, get some of this here, and so on. And I'm going to go over to the blend mode and change that to soft light. And you can see it, but it's not standing out distinctly. You can change your blend mode to whatever you want to. You can go to hard light, vivid light, and overlay. You can go to multiply. Don't do that one. I'm going to stick with the soft light for right now. And I'm going to just add some colors to these. And I'm going to switch tools as well. As I said, for every color, I'm going to add a layer. So I'm going to add a layer by clicking on that icon just left of the trash can, and I'm going to name this one yellow. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to go over to my foreground, and I'm just going to double click on that, and I'm going to get yellow. And say OK. Okay, I don't want to brush this time. I'm going to use the Polygonal Lasso tool. on my version of Photoshop, I have my tools panel in 2 layers. It's the left layer, second one down. If I right click on it, it opens up. It's the lasso tool is the main default. And if I right click on it, it opens up these 3 options. I want the second one down, the Polygonal Lasso. And it works like this. It's like if I left click on it, you'll see that little circle. And then all I need to do is drag it down in any direction I want, and I click it again, and it stops it there. And then I'm free to, like so. The way, if I want to go backwards and make a mistake, I just press my delete key, and it takes me all the way back to where I started. If you get stuck in this key and you start going all over the place and you have lines or spider webs all over, you can hit escape on your keyboard and it'll get you out of that tool. So I'm just going to do this roof right now. And I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to click once, and I'm going around this edge. And I'm making sure I get all these beams that are coming off the roof. Some people think this is kind of tedious work. I don't really feel that way. I think it's fine doing this. For me, doesn't bother me at all. I can go off the actual photo, that's no problem. And just make a big swoop over there, come down here, and there, and there, and there, and I'm heading back to my starting point. Once I get to my starting point, you'll see that that little circle on the back lights up. That tells me that I'm there, and all I have to do is click one more time, and when I do, it will select all of that. So, and now I'm free, all right? I'm not, my tool's no longer attached to that. I'm gonna get rid of this tool. I'm gonna go back to my selection tool, or I can just hit V on my keyboard, and it takes me back to the selection move tool. So now I can apply this color, and the way I do that is I go up to edit and I scroll down to fill, and it opens this window, and you can see in the contents at the top it has content aware. If I click on to the right of that, I have lots of options. I want to get that foreground color, and the foreground is simply that square in the tools panel that has yellow in it, and it's foreground because it's in front of the other square. The other square is the background color. If I did the background color, it would fill this with white. I want it yellow, so I'm gonna say foreground, and I hit OK. Okay, so it came on pretty harsh, and this is where I want to go back to the blend tool and choose some options. I'm gonna go with multiply this time, I think, but you can look at all of these and decide what you want. I'm gonna go with multiply. I kind of like it, so it's kind of transparent. So I have a green layer, I have a yellow layer. I am going to get rid of these marching ants by going up to select and hitting deselect. Or I can just hit Alt on the keyboard and the letter D. and we'll deselect that. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm gonna add one more color, and I'm just gonna do it to this window here. So I'm gonna go down, select a new layer. I'm gonna name that layer Violet. And I'm gonna go get Violet by clicking the foreground square, choosing that Violet and saying okay. I'm gonna go grab my Polygonal Lasso tool and I'm gonna go around this window real quick. As you choose a photo, you can choose something that's kind of minimal. And when I say minimal, I just mean that it doesn't have to have a lot of objects in it. You know, like, so this photo just is pretty basic, right? It's a barn and it's got two buildings and two windows and some bushes in the front and some sky in the background. There's not 1,000 things in the frame. So the more basic, I think, the more successful you'll be with this assignment. Okay, so as I said, when I come up to touch the very beginning, you'll watch for that circle that lights up. When I reach it, there it is. I know I'm good, and I have that selection. I'm gonna go grab my selection tool. I'm gonna go up to Edit, Fill, and Foreground Color, which is Violet. I'm gonna go to my blend mode, and I'm going to do a soft light on that one. I'm going to deselect it by pressing Alt D, and I'm going to zoom out, and you can see. Now, you are not restricted to 3 colors. You can add as many as you want. If you wanted to finish this kind of all the buildings, different colors, that'd be really cool. But that's basically it for your assignment, and make sure you get it done. Okay? Thank you so much.